National forests in California represent diverse lands used for forestry, recreation, conservation, and electric energy delivery. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, U.S. Forest Service Region 5, manages 33 million acres across 20 national forests in California. Pacific Gas and Electric Company, PG&E, has electric facilities on 11 of these national forests. In total, PG&E has rights to manage and operate its facilities on approximately 7,300 acres of Forest Service lands. This includes approximately 400 miles of transmission facilities, 800 miles of distribution facilities, and 500 miles of access roads. This training is designed to provide an overview of electric facility work on National Forest Service lands with the goal of helping crews understand the requirements for working in these areas. The Forest Service's top priority is to maintain and improve the health, diversity, and productivity of the nation's forests, to protect our forests for current and future generations. In 2019, PG&E obtained new master permits and easements for electric facilities and completed a standardized operations and maintenance plan, better known as their O&M plan. Randy Moore, the Regional Forester for Region 5 of the Forest Service, has recognized the success of this effort in consolidating and streamlining utility work on National Forest Service lands. PG&E's top priority is to deliver safe, reliable, and affordable power to its customers by inspecting, repairing, and maintaining its facilities on regular intervals consistent with state and federal standards.
Working with the regional office of the Forest Service rather than working with the individual forest offices gave us the ability to expedite the process and ensure that the master operations and maintenance plan that we came up with was a uniform document.
PG&E worked closely with the Forest Service to develop an O&M plan that would be implementable and provide a consistent process across the national forests. PG&E management believes this framework will help protect the forest resources while allowing PG&E to continue to do their work safely and efficiently. As a PG&E staff member or contractor, you can help the Forest Service and PG&E achieve their goals by adhering to PG&E's O&M plan when working on Forest Service lands. The O&M plan outlines the processes by which PG&E will conduct environmental screenings of its activities and the standard practices that PG&E and its contractors will follow when conducting work on national forest lands. Upon completion of this training, you will be able to 1. Understand the importance of environmental resources that could be present in the field. 2. Complete the steps in the field to comply with the permits, easements, and the O&M plan. The O&M plan divides work into 4 classes. Class 1 activities include crews on routine patrols, inspections, and other minor activities. Class 2 activities cover routine operations and maintenance projects. Class 3 activities involves project proposals. And Class 4 activities are emergency responses. PG&E strives to avoid and minimize environmental impacts in the course of conducting its work through environmental screening for biological and cultural resources. PG&E empowers its staff and crews to be responsible and avoid impacts on sensitive wildlife, plants, and fish. They also want to avoid creating erosion, which can impact water quality, avoid spreading invasive weeds, avoid disturbing cultural or heritage resources, and minimize fire risk and wildfires related to PG&E facilities. PG&E staff and contractors must support these objectives by implementing the best management practices, BMPs, and resource protection measures, RPMs, from the O&M plan. Although there are 4 work activity classifications, this training focuses on what you need to do to minimize environmental impact for Class 1 work. To understand the environmental resources, it is helpful to have an understanding of the habitats and species that could be affected by O&M work. There are highly diverse landscapes within national forest lands. These include wetlands and riparian ecosystems, home to listed amphibians such as California red-legged frogs or listed fish such as spring-run Chinook salmon. Desert ecosystems, home to listed reptiles and butterflies. Grassland ecosystems, home to mammals and butterflies. And forest ecosystems, home to migratory and nesting birds.
This new permit process allows us to identify areas within our rights-of-way and corridors that have protected and sensitive species. What it enables us to do is to provide measures and allows us to work in a safe and environmentally conscious way in protecting those species at the same time. We want our crews to know that we can conduct our work in a safe and environmentally conscious way. After all, we all live, work, and play in these areas, and we want our children to benefit from these as they grow up.
California forest lands may contain cultural resources. Crews and contractors should be aware of this and avoid cultural or heritage resources if found. You may come across prehistoric resources such as arrowheads, beads, and tools, or historical resources such as bottles, cans, and other historic remains. In all instances, if unexpected artifacts or features are found, they should be left alone and reported to the regional PG&E Cultural Resource Specialist via your work supervisor or manager. There are 2 key steps to implementing the O&M plan: pre-field work and in-field work. All Step 1 pre-field work will be done by you or your crew supervisor. Prior to going to the job site, the team will screen the work to determine if it is in a green, yellow, or red area, and to note if pink areas are nearby. Green means good to go. Yellow means forest-sensitive species may be nearby and require that standard BMPs should be utilized. Red means federally listed species may be nearby, and additional review and resource protection measures may be needed. Work in red areas requires coordination with a PG&E biologist or land planner who will provide additional guidance on the RPMs needed. Pink means invasive plant species are nearby. If your work area is pink, avoid work within polygon areas. All trucks and equipment must remain within existing roads. Where off-road travel is needed, crews must walk overland routes. Vehicles are not permitted to drive off-road. If these requirements cannot be followed, contact your supervisor, as a PG&E biologist will need to be contacted to provide additional guidance. Please be aware that other environmental screening tools and processes within PG&E may use different color schemes. All Step 2 in-field work will be done by you. To help PG&E comply with the O&M plan, crews and contractors are expected to attend tailboard environmental awareness training if conducted. Be aware that environmental or cultural resources could be present on any site. Follow BMPs and RPMs if provided. Say something if you see something, including wildlife, artifacts, water quality issues, invasive plant species, or fire prevention issues. The goal of this training is to prepare you to work on Forest Service lands by making sure you know if you're working on Forest Service lands and following the O&M plan by attending a tailboard, practicing environmental awareness, following BMPs and RPMs, and lastly, notifying your supervisor with concerns. For more information, please contact your supervisor or PG&E's O&M Plan Administrator at usfsmpe@pge.com.